Maybe around 5 years down the road, I think Thunder fans like me would definitely be looking back at the 2021 and 2022 NBA drafts and remember just how Sam Presti has made the right decisions by selecting Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren in consecutive years, despite those two guys probably being some of the most polarizing prospects from their respective draft classes. Well, last 2021, a lot of fans really thought that drafting Josh Giddey with the 6th overall pick was a reach because despite him entering the NBA already looking like a playmaking wizard, the 6'8" Australian apparently lacked the explosiveness and athleticism needed for perimeter players like him to thrive in the NBA. But fast forward a few months later, and Giddey has just really shattered everyone's expectations by becoming the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double, by being the youngest player ever to record at least 500 points, 250 rebounds, and 250 assists in a single season, and ultimately by being selected to the All-NBA Rookie Second Team. Well, sure, this 2022 NBA draft was quite different, as with the 2nd overall pick, OKC selected Chet Holmgren, who to be fair was someone actually projected by most mock drafts to be taken by the Thunder. However, there was still a huge number of fans who expressed their disapproval of the draft decision, stating that OKC should have taken Jabari Smith Jr. at number 2 instead. Well, it's definitely just the Summer League, and we definitely can't overreact to Chet Holmgren's record-setting debut game against the Utah Jazz, wherein he became the first player to record at least 4 3-pointers and 6 blocks in any Summer League game. But when you're someone like Chet Holmgren, who's being viewed as probably the most talented and highest upside player from your draft class, putting up that kind of dominant two-way performance during your first taste of actual NBA-type competition, I think definitely tells us that this guy is just out there to prove all his doubters wrong. Well, again, it's only the Summer League, so we can't really pay attention to the numbers too much. However, watching the tape of Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren playing together in these couple of games still definitely offers a sneak peek of all the crazy things that they can do together on the court for the OKC Thunder, and we'll look into more of that in this video. So what's good guys, it's Real Balls here, but before we continue, please make sure to hit that like button or to click that subscribe button if you do enjoy these types of content. It only takes a second of your time, but it will be much appreciated. So let's get to it. In today's NBA, wherein some of the easiest scoring opportunities are produced with the help of ball screens, it seems like the OKC Thunder are just primed to win a lot. Well, last season, the Thunder run plays off ball screens on 19.8% of all the team's offensive possessions, which was actually the 5th highest mark in the entire NBA, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey both ranking above the 90th percentile of the entire league in terms of ball handling frequency during ball screen possessions. But the thing is, OKC only produced 0.8 points per ball screen possession, which is the 5th worst mark in the entire NBA. And a huge reason for that is because the team just didn't have a player in the roster who can both roll to the rim or pop to the 3-point line at a consistently high level after setting a ball screen. But now, all of that changes with the arrival of Chet Holmgren, whose 7'1" frame would allow him to easily catch lobs above the rim, and whose nice stroke from beyond the arc would also enable him to be a good pick-and-pop partner for either SGA or Josh Giddey. But I think what's even more impressive is that, despite lacking that kind of constant target for his laser-like passes, Josh Giddey was still able to average 6.4 assists per game, which not only led all rookies, but also ranked 22nd in the entire NBA. So you could just imagine how the arrival of Chet Holmgren would even further boost Giddey's playmaking. And as expected, in the Summer League, we've actually seen glimpses of how those two would form a really solid pick-and-pop tandem for OKC. Right here, you can see Holmgren setting the high screen for Giddey, and without any big man screen coverage, Giddey just sets up Chet, who's beyond the arc, and with the late closeout from Taco Fall, Chet just easily drains the open 3-pointer. Then here, Giddey and Chet run another ball screen play, but this time against a more active screen coverage. Again, Giddey finds Chet, who hits another 3-pointer even with Kenneth Lofton's hand in his face. Well, the thing is, Chet Holmgren wasn't really utilized as a high-volume screener while at Gonzaga, and because of that, I think the questions as to how his size and strength might actually affect his ability as a screener are all valid. But the good thing is, Chet doesn't have to immediately develop that Steven Adams or Rudy Gobert kind of functional strength as a screener. Because if he's gonna be setting screens a huge chunk of the time for a special playmaker like Josh Giddey, who has the ability to dish out complicated and advanced passes even without a lot of help from ball screens, I think Chet is definitely gonna be allowed to make a lot of early mistakes. And also because of his ability to stretch the floor, Chet could just simply act as a misdirection type of screener and he would still be effective in opening things up for Josh Giddey's playmaking and eventually his driving game. Just like here, Giddey receives the handoff from Waters, and as Waters tries to go backdoor, you see how Lofton just can't leave Holmgren because he might pop to the 3-point line. This helps Waters run straight to the rim as Giddey finds him with a long alley-oop pass. Then here, you see JRE and Holmgren running a double drag screen play for Giddey. The confusion here causes JRE to be able to slip right through the paint as Giddey hits him with a beautiful precise bounce pass. Here, Giddey brings the ball down court in semi-transition, and you can see Chet immediately setting a quick ghost screen. The threat of Holmgren rolling to the basket just gives Giddey enough space to drive by his man as he makes the tough finish. Well, once Chet Holmgren gets stronger as a screener, I think we can definitely expect Josh Giddey to have more open driving lanes, most especially now that he looks bigger and he looks stronger as a finisher when facing contact around the basket, which I think leaves Giddey's 3-point shooting as the only remaining swing skill before he finally takes his offense to the next level. As a rookie, Giddey only shot 26.3% from deep on around 4 attempts per game, but considering that, SGA will likely continue to be one of the most frequent rim attackers in the NBA, and considering that teams will now also have to pay attention to what Chet Holmgren will do when he has the ball in his hands, there's definitely going to be a lot more shooting opportunities for Giddey from the 3-point line. Because again, with Chet Holmgren's skill set, I think it will only be a matter of time before he constantly gets double teamed when he has the ball. And to be honest, Holmgren might have created more plays for himself off the dribble during his first couple of summer league games than he did during his entire year in college. Here, watch Chet size his man up from the top of the key. Once he attacks, he takes the bump, then he spins before he easily drains the 16-foot fadeaway jumper. Then here, watch Chet with an in and out in the behind the back dribble with a little hesitation before he drains the pull-up jumper with a hand in his face. Overall, when you watch Holmgren display his craft and juice off the dribble at 7'1", you can actually understand why the Kevin Durant and Dirk Nowitzki comparisons are already being made this early in his career, which is actually scary considering we haven't even talked about what Chet can do on the other side of the floor yet, even though everyone probably already knows that this guy plays elite defense, whether he's acting as a weak side defender in the paint or as a switchable big man in the perimeter. Well, those emphatic blocks that Chet has displayed so far in the Summer League already gives us a glimpse of the kind of block parties that he will have in the NBA. But most importantly, with all the length and defensive versatility already in OKC's roster with guys like Lu Dort, Aaron Wiggins, and Darius Bazley, even without blocking a ton of shots, you can just imagine how Chet Holmgren's presence will make life easier for the rest of the team, including Josh Giddey. Cause Giddey is definitely a very underrated team defender who knows how to use his instincts and active hands when he's on that end of the floor. And in the Summer League, Giddey actually took advantage of Chet Holmgren's presence in order to get some good defensive stops. Here, the Grizzlies are attacking in transition. The ball handler tries to get past Poku, but Holmgren's presence around the basket forces him to give up the ball to Lofton underneath. But watch Giddey jump out of the weak side to get the block against the big man. Then here, you see the ball handler trying to cross up Giddey, but you can see Chet with a quick help as Giddey takes advantage of it by swiping the ball out of the guy's hands. Well, the Thunder were already a middle-of-the-pack defense, ranking number 16 in the NBA last season, so I won't even be surprised if the arrival of Chet Holmgren propels OKC to immediately becoming a top 10 defense. But sure, you've probably heard about how Chet was bullied by 280-pound Kenneth Lofton Jr. in the paint, which may look concerning and all, but realistically, Chet doesn't even have to play center full-time on the defensive end, at least in his rookie season, because OKC have guys like JaMychal Green or Jaylen Williams who can cover for him when defending much wider and stronger big men. Needless to say, OKC will definitely give Chet Holmgren the time to add strength and to adjust to the NBA's level of physicality, probably by utilizing him more as a weak side rim protector instead of as a straight up post up defender, at least early on in his career, which is also something we've seen the team do with Josh Giddey as a rookie, when Giddey was used more as a creator coming out of dribble handoffs or side pick and rolls instead of from the point of attack, in order for Giddey's lack of burst and explosiveness with the ball to be sort of neutralized. At the end of the day, the Thunder drafted two likely long-term cornerstones in Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren during the most crucial parts of the rebuild, who in addition addition to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort, and all the other talented players OKC has actually forms a really strong nucleus for the team moving forward. And with the Thunder still having 17 first-rounders and 13 second-rounders at their disposal for the next 7 drafts, it's not hard to imagine Sam Presti adding more elite talent to OKC's young core over the next couple of years. And that is something that should definitely scare the rest of the NBA. So thank you guys if you made it this far into the video, and as always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Real Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.